Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today we're having a look at this. And what we've got here, I suppose it is fairly vintage. I think this is from the 1980s. Technically it is junk. It was being thrown away by a restaurant. Well, that was a while ago. Basically what this is an industrial hand mixer. It was used in restaurants and things for preparing sauces, things like that. This actually belongs to a friend of mine. What this actually gets used for is mixing animal feed on his small holding, and it's stopped working. I bumped into him the other day, and he mentioned whether I'd have a look at it for him, see if I could get it working for him again. Apparently he said he's already tried changing the fuse and the plug, but that didn't make any difference. I did repair this for him once, I think a few years ago, and the cable had broken. In fact, was it this one or was it another one? I'm not sure actually now. But I have worked on one of these before, and it was the cable there had actually broken where it enters the unit. So I thought we'd just do a quick video, see if we can actually get this thing working for him again. They are pretty pricey things, these. I know, like second hand, they're going to set you back round about the £100 mark. So you know, if I can get it working for him again, it's a bonus. First things first. Let's grab a screwdriver. Let's get the plug open, and we will just check. And I mean, like I say, he did say that he has checked and changed the fuse, but we will just double check. Yeah, and I mean, really, it shouldn't have a 13 amp fuse in there. A 5 amp fuse will be ample for, I think it's about an 800 watt motor on this. So about 700 or 800 watt, I think. Oh no, so it's even smaller than that. It's only 460 watt. I think the last one I worked on, these had a bigger motor, and I think it was about 700. So 13 amp fuse is far too large. We'll swap that out. But let's just see whether it's got continuity. That's the first thing to check. Obviously, if you're in non-UK countries, I don't think you really have this issue. It's I think it's a particularly UK thing, having the fuse in the plug. Right, there we go. Let's get that set up. Yeah, that's working. Right, we'll test that fuse. Yeah, so the fuse is okay. The plug's wired alright. Could do with having the live a little bit shorter than it is there. It's a little bit on the long side. I'll probably rewire that, but for the moment it's good enough for testing, shall we say. In fact, another thing we just want to quickly check is that those terminals are all tight, because that's something I've come across in the past. Is just a loose terminal. Let's just make sure that those are nice and tight. That earth was a little bit loose on it, but that one, and the live was quite loose. The live was a little bit loose there. Right, it would have still been making contact though, but it was a little on the loose side. Right, let's do that back up. Let's just have a look how we get into the handle here. I'm actually suspecting that the fault's probably a break in this wire. Because if you think how you use one of these things, you stirring it around, this is always flexing like that. Let's see if we can get in here. Whew. handle is a bit broken here as well. It's obviously been dropped at some point. I think it's actually broken the post that screw fixes onto off. And I think the same thing's happened there by the look of it, because that's just spinning. Let's see if we can get the handle. No, I think we have to take these screws out as well on this one. This has had a hard life before my friend got it for his small holding. I think it came out of the kitchen previous to that, because they were getting rid of it. Oh, and apologies for no videos last week. I've been doing some work on my new workshop. Well, studio for recording this kind of stuff. Stroke utility room. Essentially, I'm converting the garage, because it's not much use as a garage, into somewhere that I can do laundry. I can move the washing machine out of the kitchen, which gives me the opportunity to move my deep freeze out of the cellar into the kitchen, which is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I mean, deep freezers are great, basically a big chest freezer. Well, not a big one, but a half-size chest freezer. It's a very useful thing to have. But it's a bit of a pain keep having to go down into the cellar every time I want to get some steaks out. So the plan is to move the washing machine out of the kitchen, have a dedicated utility room, and that'll make enough room in the kitchen for me to put the chest freezer in there. Right, let's have a look here. Let's pull this apart. There we are. Okay. Right, here we go. Let's see if we can get rid of the plastic. Yeah, we have got a, that's what's snapped off there. So we've got two posts that have broken off there. We might see if we can repair them. Let's see if we can get the switch out of the, out of here. There we go. That's the switch out. There's a suppression capacitor. So we can test that switch, but first thing we want to do is we want to test continuity between live and neutral on the plug there and live and neutral on the switch there. Basically, this thing is incredibly simple. We've got our plug, the cable, a switch, there's a suppression capacitor there. We've got a, I presume that's probably some kind of soft start. It seems to be some kind of choke. I'm not 100% sure. And that basically then goes straight off to the motor there. So there's not a lot to this thing really. We'll have a quick look at the motor. Does look pretty manky actually. We'll have a look at that as well. Have a look at the brushes. Right. First things first. Let's check the cable. So we'll go off from live here. Make sure the continuity is working. Yeah. From live here. So that's good. Go from neutral. And that's good. So that proves our cable's alright. So we need to check our switch. So we go across that side of the switch and depress it. It's a double pole switch, and then we'll try on the other side. Go across that side of the switch. Press it. Right, so plug's okay, cable's okay, switch is okay. So disconnect that lot. I'm guessing that's just some kind of choke. We can quickly just make sure we've got continuity here actually, and then all that leaves us is the motor. Right, so if we go on to there and there, we've got continuity, and from there to there again we've got continuity, so we know that all that's good, which just leaves us the motor itself. And that is filthy in there. The actual commutator in there is very, very, very worn. Let's see what state the brushes are in. In fact, there's actually a fair bit of life still in that. There's plenty of meat on that brush, but it does look like it's not been running very well. Let's have a look at the other side. And again, there's plenty of meat on that brush, and that looks in better condition. On the edge, it's got the nice profile to the edge where it's been running against the commutator. That one seems a bit more burnt. That doesn't look as good. I think what I'm going to have to do, give it a damn good clean in there, get a lot of this carbon build up off. It's pretty manky in there. We'll have a quick tidy up of them and give them a bit of a brush and reassemble it and see if it's going to run. I've got in here that I can clean that that's probably not quite aggressive enough. Let's go with that. Yeah, that might work. Now let's see whether let's go in there. I'm just going to see if I can get some of the carbonisation off the motor, but it does look pretty bad, to be fair. I think it might be the end of this motor. Let's see how well it cleans up. I'm wondering if we'd better getting a bit of wet and dry and trying a little bit of wet and dry on there, see if I can clean it up that way. Just go and see if I can find a piece and give that a try. Okay, found a little bit of wet and dry, so we'll give this a try. Anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, I've been working on the new workshop, and unfortunately, I completely overdid it. I managed to get the floor down. I managed to get some timber for the floor at a very reasonable price. That's why I've actually managed to start the project, because I've been hampered by lack of funds to actually do it. I've been collecting various building materials for a while to get that project started, but I was lacking suitable timber for making the flooring out of. Anyway, I managed to find something that was suitable at a very reasonable price, so I managed to get all the flooring, and over last weekend basically I got the floor down. I got the old garage door removed and the French doors put in, and all the brickwork done, the timber work done and everything. But I was essentially working on my own for most of it, and as some of you may know, I have chronic fatigue, and I overdid it, and then spent a number of days basically unable to do anything at all, literally not being able to get out of bed. So I've had to recuperate for a few days since that, and basically just leave the project. But I am making progress on it now. I now know how the layout of the room's going to be, where the washing machine, there's sink, the utility sink and things like that are going, where I'm going to put a radiator in. And since I took the old garage door out, that's actually started to clean up in there. I'll do a little bit more and then I'll show you. But yeah, the biggest thing I've done is remove the old garage door, which was basically a big 2 metre by 2 metre square, just single sheet of steel, kind of very old early 1980s garage door. So I removed that, so I put a brick layer in, raised the floor to the same height as the rest of the house, because you used to step down into that garage. So it's now got a suspended floor. So bricked it up at the front and put French like patio doors in, and that has made the room actually, you can walk in there even with not having a radiator in there, and it is quite tolerable. It's not warm, but it's certainly not freezing like it used to be. Right, let's have a look at that. Okay, that's not perfect. Let me get you zoomed in and see if you can oops, that's the wrong way. If we can look in there. There we go. You can see the rotor in there. Now there's a massive step at either side of it. This has had a lot of use. It's the step on either side there where it's cut into it is huge. I mean, these things were designed to be used, you know, day in day out, day in day out. So that is a very heavy duty motor, and this doesn't get major use now. You know, it's perhaps used once a week, twice a week, for 10 or 15 minutes. So if we can get it cleaned up, it should last for a little bit longer for him. Like I said, these things were designed to, you know, do hours work a day, day in, day out, in a restaurant, in a industrial food prep environment. In the environment this is going to be used in now, which, like I said, is chopping a bit of, mixing animal feed up perhaps once or twice a week. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Right, there we go. Let's see what that's like now. Take that bit of emery paper off. There, we can see that in there now. That's actually nice and clean again. And actually, I don't know why, but that's freed up immensely. That was a bit stiff to turn before. Yeah, that's not bad. The next thing I want to quickly do is just go over the end of the brushes. What I could do with it is something shaped. We'll use, that should do. Ideally, we want it about the same diameter as the rotor in there. What have we got that's a little bit wider than this? That's too wide. That will do it at a pinch, but something a little bit wider would be better. Ah, that might work. Yeah, I've got the top off an old spray bottle here, that might work. Yeah, because that's about the same diameter as the rotor there, and all we're going to do is just put that round there and just give these, but we'll make sure that basically there's a shape to the edge of that brush there, if you can see. Oops. You can see it's shaped there. So what we're doing is we're just taking some of the burnt carbon where it had been arcing off the end of that, just tightening it back up again. That should be enough. Yeah, that should be okay. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, again, this one's the same. It's worn a little bit where it's been arcing, where there's been a lot of carbon build up on them that rotor there. Okay, it doesn't. These are very, very soft, these carbon brushes, so it doesn't need a lot to. It really doesn't need a lot to tidy them up. Right. Okay. So we're nice and clean in there now. Anyway, getting back to, I'll just reassemble this, but getting back to the studio, well, studio, I'm calling it studio workshop. It's really going to be a utility room, but I should be able to do a lot better filming in there. Basically I'm designing in as I'm building this place. I'm actually designing in, you know, lighting for actually making filming better. I'll have. It's a bigger room. It's quite a large room actually. It's far larger than you'd need for a utility room, which means that I'll be able to get better shots, better camera angles. In fact, it's probably even a little bit bigger than Andy's workshop over at Vintage Electronics Repair, and this is a fairly decent sized room. I think it's even a tiny little bit bigger than that. You know, like I said, it will be shared with a washing machine and a utility sink, but the utility sink will be very, very useful. In fact, I'm even thinking about putting a let's have a look at that now. That looks okay there. Let's make sure that they're going to work. You know, that one on the top there is fine. That one there, I'm actually just going to take back out. And I'm just going to rub it down a little bit more because it's not sitting quite the way I want it to. Only one part of the brush is actually contacting the copper ring, which means that you'll get a hot spot. What have I just done with that? Ah, there it is. Because that was just about the right diameter. I've got a little bit more emery paper kicking about. Yes, we have. There we go. Now I'm going to have enough room that I'm going to have a much bigger workbench than this. In fact, I've already got something that I'm planning to use for the top of the workbench. It is quite large. It used to be an old desk many years ago. So we want to cut the gap that way. That's better, that's looking better now. Let's just give that a quick trial fit, see how that looks. They will self-bed in, so we don't need to get it absolutely perfect, we just need to get it close. Let's try that again. There we are. That's looking better. Yeah, they're both touching nicely now. Yeah, that's better. Let's screw that back in again. Okay. Now let's reassemble this lot. Obviously this is an AC only motor, so these two wires can go either way around, it doesn't actually matter. We've just got to see where the points are these plug into now. One there, and the other one is up there, like that. Okay, so that's that connected back up. Let's just get the handle back in. Now I know those two little things are broken off there. I was going to glue them, but what I might actually do is, when I've got it all back together, I might just wrap some tape around the handle like that to secure it. I think that'll be good enough for this. So let's reattach this. I think that's right. That goes in there. Okay. Now let's figure out how the switch goes back in. I presume that just tucks down there. The switch fits in that little gap there, like that. In fact, I think the switch must have to fit in on this side. Let's try. Yeah, put the switch in there. Some room for the start cap to go up there. Yeah, there's even a little bit there for it. Bring the cable round. So obviously the cable's still good. That cable grommet's a bit past it, but again, like I said, for what this is being used for, it's not essential. Hang on, there we go. I had that not quite right there. That's right in now. Push the switch, so the switch is in. Right, and let's see if we can get this back together. This is going to be the fun bit. Let's try putting that to there. Have we got it? Right, well that's gone back together, but I don't think the switch is working. No, so we've not got something in the right place there. Let's try this again. Right, so the switch mechanism, there's a pivot down there. That seems to be right. That all looks okay. That all looks like it's in the right place. I will do some filming of the my new space anyway when I get a little bit further on. It's still got a lot of stuff that's not related, that's like garage related in there that I need to move out of there. I've got other storage solutions for some of it now, but there is, like, there's some doors and things that need to go into some of my other storage units and what have you. So once I've got all that cleared out so that you can actually see a little bit better, I will do you a tour of the new space, so you can have a tour of it and see see what my plans are. Has that gone in? Has that actually worked? No. Well, that's working, but the switch mustn't be in the right place. One of the things I've got in there actually is, was it? Yeah, it would have been last year. It would have been in that brief period between the lockdowns when we could move about again. I went and picked up an old computer console. It's what used to control a scanning electron microscope. Now that's like that. I've got that kicking about in the garage. In fact, I've got plans to actually turn that as into part of my bench out of my test setup. Why are you not? See, that goes in there like that. Now that's right. That is correct there. And that holds that in. So yeah, that's right. That goes around there, but that must be meant to be put in from the other side, or else that won't. There we are. I remember now why I stopped repairing stuff like this for people. I used to repair quite a lot of like commercial kitchen equipment. The only problem is you tend to get covered in grease. You tend up stuck working in hot kitchens all the time. There's usually someone trying to do something while you're trying to repair something. Even when it's like during the day, there's usually a chef in doing some prep work or doing something. So it's usually red hot in there. Alright, let's try this again. If it doesn't work this time, I'll have to admit defeat, pause the video, go and have a coffee, and come and try again. That looks right there. That looks like that's all in position. So let's try and drop this on top of it. Let's try putting that spring on there. In fact, can we put this whole mechanism in this from this side? Will that work? That'll make life a lot easier. So that goes in there like that. That goes in that hole there. Drop that over the top. Again, it's not pressing the switch in. Bear with us, folks. I'll be back in a sec. Well, that's sod's bloody law, isn't it? The second I put the camera off, I literally just tried again, pulled it together, and it went click and went straight together. And yeah, that's the magic, isn't it? Let's put the last screw in there. We're done with my screwdriver now. There it is. So we'll put the last screw in there. Okay. Is that the right screw for there? Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it's the same as that one. Let's try a better screwdriver. That one slips a bit as well. Find a screwdriver that doesn't slip. Let's try that. Some of the heads on these screws aren't in the best of conditions. Like I said, this has probably been repaired many times in the past. think these date from the 80s. I don't think the later ones have these yellow handles on them. I think they went to a different colour. Right. Let's just slip that back together. That goes in that slot there, that one goes in there. Right, there we are. That's that together. We'll put them back in. Those are the right screws, aren't they? But yeah, that one's going in. Okay. Where are them? Oh, there we go. Right, so that's in. Two more. We can give this thing a try, see if it's going to spin up. Okie dokie. Right, so that's all put back together. Let's plug it in and see whether it's actually going to work. Spin it round. There we go. Get the end down so you can see the spinny thing at the end. We'll plug that in. I will have to still change that fuse because I'm not leaving it, it's not going to leave here with a 13 amp fuse in the plug, but let's see if it's actually going to work. Well, that seems to be working again. The bearings in it seem absolutely shot, but like I said, for what this gets used for nowadays, it doesn't get used in a kitchen or anything like that. It just mixes the odd little bit of animal feed across a couple of times a week. I'm sure it's going to I am sure it's going to continue doing that for many more years. So I'll get a I don't think I've actually got one right here, so I'll have to dig one out, but I will change that for I'll probably even get away with a 3 amp, but I'll probably put a 5 amp in there. But yeah, that's it. That is a Dynamec industrial hand blender. Quick repair, just clean the brushes up and clean the rotor up in the motor, and that was basically it. That's a fix. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, normal service will be resumed as soon as I can, and I will do a quick video on what I'm doing for the new repair workshop stroke studio stroke utility room. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this little video, so thanks for watching and goodbye.